My name is John Snow. I'm with Epicor Business Consulting Services team, and I'm going to speak with you today about Lean and Six Sigma. Epicor has the technology with our ICE and our technology roadmap, which is best in class, but it's also our talent and our subject matter expertise in manufacturing and services and distribution. But it's our technique that's providing our decisive competitive edge. And that technique is how we're leveraging Lean and Six Sigma internally, as well as encouraging our customers and prospects to be leveraging Lean and Six Sigma, and through our Scrum development process and cycles. So you may ask yourself, why Six Sigma? It's a buzzword. What does it really mean? Well, Six Sigma is a combination of best practices that uses best-in-class statistics, quality, leverages lean techniques to eliminate waste, PMI or Project Management Institute and best-in-class project management techniques, as well as design and how you're innovating projects and how you're implementing change through change management techniques and incorporating that into your overall strategy. And it's an ever-evolving process and curriculum that includes these best-of-class techniques. Now, looking at some statistics, 82% of the top 100 Fortune 500 companies are leveraging Lean and Six Sigma. But it's also very applicable to the mid-market. If you look at the EBITDA for the mid-sized market, people that are practicing Lean and Six Sigma saw a 15% improvement. Those mid-market manufacturing distributors also saw an 18% increase in revenue for practicing Lean and Six Sigma. It's defined as a process and a methodology to achieve perfection-like levels. The word Sigma is a term that is associated with standard deviation. A sigma is a standard deviation from a process norm or from a process median or mean. Airlines have achieved best-in-class Six Sigma results, and that means that they are having less than 4 fatalities per million flyers. Most organizations are Three Sigma, and Three Sigma organizations are 99% effective. And 99% effective may be good, but it also depends on the volume. Think about in the everyday life, if for instance you had your water sanitation as a Three Sigma and being 99% effective, that means you would have unsafe drinking water 15 minutes a day. Or there would be 2 short or long landings at any major airport per day. So is 99% effective? That's what you may need to ask yourself. And how can you move from a Three Sigma to a Four Sigma? Well, using a methodology called DMAIC, you can get there. And we'll talk about DMAIC. But first we need to look at the cost of poor quality. The cost of poor quality for your organization may be seen by customer attrition. It might be seen through some angry customers or complaints. But the hidden cost that you're not realizing for the cost of poor quality is unhappy employees, dissatisfied customers, and also loss of working capital, as well as long lead times and other things. So what's at the bottom of the iceberg, what's hidden is that cost of poor quality, and that's what you need to expose and leverage Six Sigma to actually increase your quality. For every Sigma shift that you achieve, there is an additional 10% of additional net income to your bottom line. That's why Six Sigma becomes so critical in achieving those perfection-like levels. Six Sigma follows a methodology of DMAIC, which stands for define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. And there's tools along the way, as well as key performance indicator variables and inputs that can help you move through that process and achieve higher quality results. So with the define, for instance, you create a project charter, you understand the voice of the customer. With the measure phase, you use things like control charts and histograms. With the analysis or analyze phase, you can use fishbone diagrams to get to root cause analysis, as well as ANOVA and regression testing, and then the improve and control with control plans, statistical analysis, and process control. This roadmap is pretty complicated, but you can make it very simple. And that DMAIC methodology will allow you to take small chunks of your business and achieve higher quality results. The terminology of Lean Six Sigma is often used interchangeably, and it's because there's so many common tools between Lean and Six Sigma. Lean is actually focused on the elimination of waste and was developed originally by Tachiono Ono. He's attributed to being one of the founders. And Malkal Harry was attributed with being one of the founders through Motorola's campaigns and programs for the founding of Six Sigma. But Six Sigma is the focus on perfection-like levels, and Lean being the focus on removing waste from a business. So as a definition, Lean is the focus on speed, eliminating waste, and driving customer value. There are certain tools, again, that can be used both with Lean and Six Sigma. For instance, when you think about the speed, using Kanban, work cell, and focusing on tack time, which is the ability to fulfill daily demand. Also with eliminating waste, identifying and removing the 7 deadly waste, or mistake proofing through Poke-Yoke, as well as 5S. And we'll show you some pictures about 5S and how you can apply those to your business. And the driving of customer value. What is it that your customer really is asking for from you? And overachieving that value may sometimes result in variations or things that they're not expecting. So giving them exactly what they want and when they want it is that achievement of customer value. Lean has a term called the 7 deadly waste. And by focusing on these waste within your business and removing these waste from your business, you will be able to increase your efficiency, drive more throughput, and drive more customer value. Those 7 deadly waste are defects, inventory, overprocessing, waiting, motion, transportation, and overproduction. Some examples that you may be able to see in your business of waste that you could eliminate today. Again, if you're waiting on tickets, if you're taking up extra steps in processing, if you're ever waiting on equipment or waiting on signatures, waiting on that next step in the process rather than pulling that material or that process through its value stream. Those are good examples of non-value-added activities that are also waste within the Lean concepts. The value stream mapping is an important critical process. When we took polls of around 200 companies, mid-market manufacturers and distributors, approximately 5% of those companies had value stream mapped from quote to cash, which is astonishing because that's how you drive your sales and that's how you collect your money. And without that value stream in place, you're not going to understand where your waste may exist. So you first need to map your current state. You need to understand where you are today, to understand what is truly happening on your shop floor, in your business, through your processes. Then you go through the second phase of value stream mapping, which is the process analysis. And that's when you can adopt best practices, when you can start leveraging these Lean and Six Sigma tools like eliminating waste, identifying poke-yoke or mistake-proofing opportunities, to raise your value-added percentage or your value-added steps in the process, and then developing the future state so that you come up with the ideal utopia of how that process should occur in the least amount of time possible. Along the way of this value stream mapping exercise, make sure you capture these key process metrics. This could be footsteps, number of steps in your ERP system, amount of defect inventory, wait time. Time becomes the most critical element in your value stream mapping, and that establishes your baselines. And the reason you do that is so that you can then understand where there is value to be gained and capacity to be gained. In any Lean initiative and program, you always want to encourage repurposing your employees. Lean is not an initiative to reduce headcount. Lean should be an initiative to drive more sales and increase capacity within your workforce so that you can then service your customers better and drive more value to your customers. As you start measuring some of these process metrics, consider how you can repurpose those employees so your Lean programs can drive more value. So as an example, if you baselined your current state of a quoting process, and then you took your ideal utopia future state where you have adopted those best practices and incorporated those Lean techniques, you can then understand the capacity of man hours to be repurposed to drive more customer sales. As a good customer testimonial here, what we did is we took a quoting process and we were able to see 8,000 hours of capacity. Now what does that mean? That's 8,000 hours. That doesn't mean you're going to eliminate 4 heads from your sales force. That means you have the opportunity to take those 4 heads or those 8,000 hours and run call campaigns and customer value-added programs. And in this scenario, it was a $40 million company, and the key performance indicator was for the 80 employees, $500,000 of sales per year. Through those 8,000 hours of repurposing, they were able to see an additional $2 million in sales, which then at the average 22% gross profit that they were achieving, that was $440,000 to their bottom line, just by re-engineering their quoting process. So a 40-hour engagement led to $440,000 in return. One of the most cheapest and intuitive tools within the Lean methodology is 5S. And you can take some of these visuals and apply them to your business today. 5S stands for sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. And it's a methodology for good housekeeping to eliminate some of those 7 deadly wastes. You can see some imagery from the before and after pictures where there's poor work cell design. They had difficulty in finding the right tools and equipment, and then with better bin systems and a better work cell layout and applying 5S, they're able to increase their throughput. You can see shadow boarding techniques used, and all it takes is a pair of scissors and construction paper to clearly mark where tools should exist so they do not waste time looking for those tools or material. This should become a showroom for your customers so that you are never embarrassed to invite customers into your factory or into your warehouse. Invite them in, show them the high quality results, and show them that showroom and be proud of it. Also, the standardization. You can clearly have pictures identified so that you may have new technicians on that floor that need to understand what the product should look like and how they should identify those. That's also a methodology within 5S, as well as things like no work list. When they're not actively pulling items or they're not actively assembling things, what is the ongoing maintenance that should be done to make sure that that factory and warehouse is clean and is sustained? Which also takes us to the standardization, doing ongoing audits to verify that these people are applying these techniques so that you have ongoing maintenance. Another technique is problem solving, the 5 whys. The 5 whys are used to get to the root cause of any situation. So anytime you identify an issue, you always want to ask why 5 times, or a similar type of context, how, when, where, to understand the root cause so you can fix the root cause. Another very intuitive lean concept. A more sophisticated root cause concept is the fishbone diagram. And the fishbone allows for a cross-functional team to understand why something may have resulted and the general themes around what could have made that result or that effect. And you do this with a cross-functional team so that you can then drive at that root cause. And the term, of course, comes from because it looks like a fish. Now, lean, just some of the advantages: it is very quick, it's easy, it's powerful, you see measurable results, it's very inexpensive to pursue, and there's obvious results, being that it's a showroom for your customers. We generally attack this through a Kaizen Blitz. If you know what's wrong in your business, if you know what's broken, you can use a Kaizen Blitz to fix and remedy that issue. We do this as a 40-hour engagement. It's 4 days on site, typically followed by a 1-day write-up, and we typically also use process mapping and value stream mapping to identify that broken process and where there's opportunities to improve. Some of those advantages: it's a great way to catapult your lean journey, to really start with a high-energy, cross-functional team to start that compelling event to improve that process or that situation. The execution is dramatic, and then you can start educating more on those results and gaining some momentum in your lean program. Some of those targets that we typically identify include customer-facing processes like quote entry or sales or fulfillment activities. Those are great opportunities for a Kaizen Blitz. If you ever need to leverage professionals, please consider Epicor Business Consulting, because we have a lean certification program as well as the Kaizen Blitz offering. And the lean certification program is a 2-day course followed by some instruction and some tests, and it gives you some templates and tools that are immediately applicable within your business. So in summary, lean is about a cultural change to eliminate waste and focus more on driving customer value, where Six Sigma is a high-quality initiative to achieve perfection-like levels.